This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Nice to have you with us today on Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. All right, Risa writes in with regard to a movie. She says, Bang the Drum Slowly. That is a movie that was released in 1973 based on a book. It stars Robert De Niro. It is a fictional movie, but it's a good story. This is all in reaction to the announcement that Gene Hackman was found dead in his home in Santa Fe with his wife and dog. Appears to be no nefarious activity. Just, I don't know if it was natural. I don't know if it was...
Something has to be up, right?
It could be faulty furnace or something along those lines.
Like a gas leak or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's not... I wouldn't call that natural causes.
I said no nefarious causes.
Okay, all right. Well, 2 humans and a dog are all dead.
Yeah, right.
That's definitely not natural causes.
No.
Something's up.
Yeah. Here, just and I think it's going to depend on when you were born, the era, like with a lot of things. I mean, there's you have your movie going era, that maybe that's for some all their life, but this movie came to mind when I saw it. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a good one. It's a good sports movie. I don't know that it's not in my list, but Raging Bull, the boxing movie. Sandlot's on this list. Raging Bull was from 1980, Sandlot from 1993. I always liked this. Some would say, well, it's really not a sport. The Hustler. It starred Paul Newman. It was basically a pool shark movie. He took on Minnesota Fats, who's considered maybe one of the greatest pool players of all time, and at least in his era. Okay, Caddyshack. Some would say, well, that's really not a sports movie, but it's it's funny. It's a comedy. Hoop Dreams.
I would call Caddyshack a sports movie.
Okay,
it revolves around a golf course.
Yeah. Rocky. It's on that list. I got tired of all the Rocky 72 by the time and now there's spin-offs of that even.
I thought they were great. I think I enjoyed them all, and I like the Creed movies too.
Okay. Remember the Titans.
And the funny part is I have no interest in boxing whatsoever. Real boxing.
Okay.
Movie boxing is good.
Okay. Miracle, which is based on the 1980 U.S. hockey team. I thought that was a good one. Starring Kurt Russell. League of Their Own. How'd you feel about League of Their Own?
It's fine.
So it's fine, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not like if it was on, you probably wouldn't stay with it, would you? I saw it in the theater.
Depends what else was on, I guess.
Okay.
No, I'd stick with it.
You would?
If for no other reason, you get no crying in baseball.
Okay.
There's no crying in baseball.
Yeah, Tom Hanks
She's
is
crying, sir.
No question. Yeah, he's outstanding.
And it's got the most accurate statement about baseball ever. It's supposed to be hard.
Okay.
If it was easy, everybody would do it. The hard is what makes it great.
Friday Night Lights. How do you feel about that?
Good one.
Yeah. Major League. I'm with Jeff on that. Are you? Choice Woodman is the one that's like the big flag bearer. He carries the torch for Major League 2 versus Major League Original.
What he has said is that Major League 2 is as good as Major League 1. Mm-hmm. I don't know that it's as good. It's a good movie. It is what it is. It is definitely a to some extent money grab and not quite as sharp copy of Major League 1. But they're both good.
Okay.
Are some of the movies not money grabs? Are they not all trying to make money?
Major League Back to the Minors was definitely a money grab.
Okay. I
it
would
was
agree
not
with,
a good movie.
I would agree with Jamie. Hoosiers came out in 1986, so it's almost been 40 years since Hoosiers came out. Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem like that long ago, but to others, yes. Field of Dreams is on this list. It's always going to be on this list. That's a good one. Pride of the Yankees, Jamie, 1942. Have you ever seen The Pride of the Yankees?
Yep.
Okay, and that's a good one. Somebody off the chat line just wrote in Slapstick. Yep, there's another one.
It's pretty funny.
Yep.
It's been forever since I saw
Yep.
that.
Slapshot is the actual name of the movie. He said Slapstick, but it's actually Slapshot. Bull Durham has got to be on that list, too. Are you a big Bull Durham fan or not really?
Nah, it's okay.
It's okay? Okay. Tin Cup.
Rose goes in the front.
I'm sorry, what?
Rose goes in the front. Bull Durham. That's one of the lines in the movie. When he's getting dressed in the locker room, Rose goes in the front.
Okay. I don't remember that one. Remember that line.
Was when he was putting on his lingerie.
Yes.
It changes thought process.
Oh, okay. Jerry Maguire. That was Show Me the Money.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a sports movie that has a romantic comedy in comedy in it, or is it a romantic comedy that's desperately trying to give birth to a sports movie? I don't know which way it goes. For Love of the Game goes the same way.
Not this group here, but
that doesn't mean they're not good movies.
Yeah.
And way too much analysis over a movie. Like, is it desperately trying to birth a sports theme? I mean, that is just overthinking.
Yeah.
For Love of the Game, 75% of it is him on a baseball mound. How is that not a sports movie?
Because it's not about the...
I don't care that there's a love story wrapped
it's
in
not,
it. It's 75% of it. He is on the mound at Yankee Stadium. How is that not a sports movie?
Because he's not thinking about being on the mound during the sports movie. I'm not saying it's not a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
I'm not arguing that part, but you're over there analyzing it's a romantic comedy trying to birth a sports
It
movie.
is.
It's a flippin' sports movie.
With regard to Jerry Maguire, I was trying to motivate our sales staff, not this one, another one that I was working at, and I thought, well, that'd be a good movie to go see. So I'd take them to the movies every once in a while, and if you recall the opening scene, it's not very office friendly.
No. I also think that the whole scene of taking less money, fewer clients, probably doesn't help your sales staff either. There,
not everything that I did worked. In fact, most of what
you seriously put that in the office?
No, I took them to the movie theater.
Oh, goodness.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know. I just thought, show me the money. I thought that'd be,
you would be fired in today's landscape.
Yes. I mean, I just kind of thought
that sexual harassment.
Yes. I mean, I just was trying to do something fun and different,
Yeah, but you didn't know that was in there.
I did not know that was in there, or we wouldn't have done that.
I thought you brought it in and
Oh,
played
no. We went to the theater and I bought popcorn and everything. Brian's song, yeah, that's a good one. Somebody says Draft Day is an underrated movie.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Today is February the 27th, 2025. With this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
All right, guys, starting in 1874, they had a chance to get it right. And they started it, but they didn't stick with it. Baseball first played in England at Lord's Cricket Ground. Why they went back to cricket over baseball, the king only knows.
I'm glad they didn't, though, because I think cricket is very interesting.
You do?
I do. I mean, every time I see it, I'm intrigued by it. I still don't understand it, but it's interesting. Yeah.
I can get behind soccer. I can get behind hockey. These are not sports I watch a lot of. I don't understand
it. It is
cricket.
so confusing.
Cricketers. Yeah.
Yeah, but they love it. So, yeah, it's cool.
But they could have had baseball.
The world's big enough for both.
Yeah, you're right.
But they could have had baseball. They had a chance. They screwed it up.
It's America's favorite pastime, not England's.
1959, Boston Celtics guard Bob Cousy sets an NBA record with 28 assists as the Boston Celtics score 173 points against the Minneapolis Lakers. 1963, Mickey Mantle of the New York Yankees signs a baseball contract worth $100,000.
Woo!
Man. 1971, On a night, Texas Tech shoots 68% from the floor. Greg Lowry goes 15 for 18 and scores 35 points in a 103-92 win over SMU. You needed almost every one of those 68% from the floor shots. 1984, Carl Lewis jumps a world record indoor long jump, 8.675 meters.
Okay.
And a year later, in 1985, Bubba Jennings scores 23 points, and Texas Tech holds SMU scoreless for the last 5 minutes to earn its first Southwest Conference title in 12 years, winning 59-54.
And that's without the three-point line.
That is without the three-point line. Controversy today.
Okay.
It's National Strawberry Day. It's also National Chili Day because it's the final Thursday in February.
What's the controversy?
Chuck.
It's
going to be 40. It's going to be like 68 today or something. It's going to be way too hot for chili today.
No, it's too hot for chili today. I thought you were going to bring up beans and chili or not conversation. No. Okay.
We're just talking about you thinking that it has to be a certain temperature to enjoy chili.
Well, yeah, I mean, 65 is too hot for chili. I mean, I think it's got to be in the 40s.
I think like cold weather foods like that are better during the cold months. I don't think you can. I don't think that you can't eat them when it's warmer.
Okay, well,
but I definitely agree with you that like there's a preferred time.
Yeah.
Right? I would say the same thing about soup. I don't want soup in the summer.
Right.
Okay, but if my wife made it, I would say, oh, okay, interesting.
You wouldn't say it's too hot for soup?
No.
No.
Yeah. But if she offered it up in the cold winter month, I'd be like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect time for soup.
Happy birthday to Josh Gordon, who's 44. Kate Mara is 42. Chelsea Clinton, 45. Tony Gonzalez, 49. James Worthy, 64. And Ralph Nader is 91.
Ralph Nader's still alive.
Alive and kicking.
Wow.
And clicking seatbelts. And on this day in 1980, I'm going to say that again. 1980.
Okay.
The long-lost glasses of rocker Buddy Holly, who died in the deadly plane crash in 59, were found...
In the field?
Filed away in an envelope in a court clerk's office. So how did these famous glasses reemerge? Well, after the violence of the crash back in February of 59, they were thrown clear of the other wreckage and buried in the snow. They were found along with the Big Bopper's watch, and that had that same spring when the melting snow finally made them visible again. Though they were handed in immediately to the Cerro Gordo County Sheriff's Office, they sat filed away for the next 21 years in a sealed manila envelope marked received April 7th, 1959. That envelope was opened by Sheriff Jerry Allen on this day in 1980, and the glasses were eventually returned to Holly's widow.
How about that?
And that is this day in sports history.
This day in sports history. All right, 650. This, I don't agree with Chuck much. That's that's usually how things start off with. I don't agree with Chuck, but, and then he says, but I will stand on the same hill as him when it comes to outdoor temperatures and chili/soup theory. Chili/soup theory. Man, say that 3 times. This, I agree with Chuck. It's too hot for chili in a bowl, but you put chili on a hot dog, and I'm all in. See,
changes that up.
It does change that up. I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I think no matter what the temperature is, it's too hot for chili.
Okay.
Because Jamie doesn't like chili.
I don't like
You
chili.
don't care for chili. Yeah.
I'll also say Frito pies are really good, but that's kind of in a bowl. You wouldn't put that on a plate.
Yeah, it's definitely. Well, I guess you could.
See, I like Fritos and I like pie, but I don't like Frito pie.
Okay.
This, Cinderella Man, great sports movie. For the love of the game, white men can't jump. is Cool Runnings a sports movie?
Yes.
Cool Runnings is absolutely a sports movie.
Yes.
It is most everyone's education into bobsledding.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This cricket is like curling for me. If I see it on, I am stopping and I am watching. I don't fully understand both sports, but I just think they are awesome and very interesting. That's from Juan.
I feel like if I took the time to spend 15 minutes to research the rules and figure out what exactly is going on, it would ruin the aura of cricket for me.
Okay.
Like, I feel like there's an enjoyment of running across it and just watching and trying to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
Because it would only take 15 minutes to figure it out, right?
Okay.
Maybe less. I don't know.
You think you could be a cricket commentator?
No.
Would you have that? You wouldn't have any desire to be a cricket commentator? Mm-mm. Okay. Somebody talks about Gene Hackman. He played in Superman movie. Right. We already talked about that. Let's see here. The lucky lady weighs in. Good news. Chili is not on tonight's menu in the Heinz household. Oh, that's good. Glad to hear that. Fascinating.
I'm actually still going through some chili that I made for the Super Bowl. I got like two servings left.
Did you freeze it or just put it? Okay.
There was enough to freeze half of it, and we're slowly going through it.
Okay. I'm on a keto diet. I'll be eating chili July 4th. It's a great way to avoid carbs. That from Lindale Jeff. Okay.
Way to go, Jeff.
I hope it's working for you. 6:53 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app, presented by Happy State Bank, and you can weigh in on that. So look forward to that. We don't talk a whole lot of NBA. I thought this was interesting. Klay Thompson, who had a Achilles injury in 2020, tore his Achilles, gave, after the Lakers beat the Dallas Mavericks the other night, gave his doctor a championship ring from when the Golden State Warriors defeated the Boston Celtics in 6 games during the 2022 finals.
Sweet.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And the doctor said, "Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable." And Klay Thompson said, "Without you, I would not have been the second leading scorer on a championship team. I can't thank you enough. Are you kidding me? I didn't think that was possible." I don't know why it took so long. Maybe that was just when they met up, the next time that they met up, or he was available to him. But at any rate, that's pretty cool that Klay Thompson did that for his doctor.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Here on the Morning Drive, good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. The Red Raider baseball team will be in Vegas. They'll be taking on Illinois, Texas, and Washington. We got a text earlier from some folks that are going to be there, Jamie. It says, "Okay, Jamie, my daughter, son-in-law, son, and I are headed to Las Vegas today with tickets in hand for a weekend of Red Raider baseball.
Awesome.
We will do our best to be loud and visible to hopefully get us back on track with some victories. Maybe we will see you out there." That's from Jeff and Keller.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
If you see me, come say hi, Jeff.
Yeah.
I would love to chat with you.
I think my friend Ed and his wife are going to be with you guys as well. And he'll come up and remind you that he's my only friend.
I have met Ed before, yes.
So Ed and Kathy will be with you on this trip. And they're big baseball supporters and love the Red Raiders.
We love them for it.
Yeah. So
the world needs more of them.
Just kind of remember everything he tells you about me, just kind of take it, tongue in cheek.
Chuck, I really don't know enough about you already. Whatever he says, I've already formed my own opinion of the greatness that comes with Chuck Heinz.
I don't know about that. I don't know about greatness. Although as we learned in Tucson the other night, there's only one Chuck Heinz, and we're all glad for that.
Was that in question?
No, I mean. I think I told you that did I tell you that I ordered 2 meals for?
Yes,
I did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And
Yes.
Coach Gerlich said, "No, there's only one Chuck." And that kind of made it sound like, that it's good that there's only one, because we couldn't handle any more than what we got, right?
Were they the same meal?
They were not, and that was they were not, and that was puzzling to some. That was not,
Including me. Yeah.
Well,
if it double punched, I totally get how that could happen.
No.
If you're struggling with it,
He did
and you
it
order
once. They told him the second time, "Hey, if you haven't yet," and Chuck couldn't remember if he had done it or not, and so he went and did it. And then in that time, he was like, "You know what? I think the veal sounds better than the chicken."
That's not it either.
he saw somebody else's chicken sandwich and thought it was bigger than his.
Yes, he was nervous that somebody was going to have something better, and so he's like, "I'm going to double down here."
Okay, truth be told, I went to place my order for our meal. I guess it was Monday night, and it was spooling, and I didn't think it went through. And I'd had this problem on another trip where I thought I'd ordered and it didn't go through.
Totally get all this.
So that
all
there
of
wasn't
this checks out.
So when I went back to order again, I saw something else. I thought, well, you know what? That really looks better than that. What I thought I had, because it was kind of a funky kind of Mexican food place. Okay, it wasn't your traditional Tex-Mex.
What makes it funky?
Oh, how they describe things on the menu kind of seemed like almost New Age-ish to me. Okay, just with the way that it was describing. And it was like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is.
If you had kept your order the same, they probably would have recognized that it was a double order and not made the second one.
Yeah.
So the second order, again, now falls back on you.
So anyway, the waitress says, "I've got like 2 Chucks, one upstairs and one downstairs." And they're like, "No, there's only one." And then there's like, I apologize for ordering 2 meals. And then I offered up, the other meal to others around our table, and not everybody wanted a sample of it. It was just a sandwich, kind of a Mexican kind of sandwich kind of thing. So anyway, it was
all part of the Chuck Heinz experience.
Experience, right? It's all part of the experience. All right, let's get to Tim Tadlock here. This is from his conversation with the media yesterday. He was asked what he's done to improve the defense.
What's today? Wednesday? Same process we always have. Take ground balls. Be intentional about your glove work. Be intentional about getting your eyes behind the ball. Again, like I will say this, it does all go hand in hand in this game. I mean, it was a 4-hour something game, the last game we played, and you could probably say there's as much lack of pitch to pitch maybe in a game like that. Sometimes it'll come kind of catch you, and so we've addressed all of it.
We've addressed all of it. Yeah, take ground balls. Kind of do what we do. That's
the funny part of that.
What's funny?
What's funny is because that's. I mean, to me, that's obvious. He stated the obvious, I just kind of love how he speaks, and kind of speaks in common sense, common lore, kind of laid back, not getting too excited about. Well, I had him go out there and take 1,000 ground balls. Now they could get it all right. He's a very calm, mild mannered, baseball coach. But I'm sure he has his moments.
The funny part of the clip for me is what day is it? Wednesday? Same thing we always do.
Right, yeah, right. I agree with you.
That's the funny part to me. The is it Wednesday? Okay, yeah. Then we did the same thing we always do.
I think his point is that we're not changing what we do. We're not reinventing the wheel. Yeah. You just got to keep working at it.
Sure.
And I think the other point was that it's not just the defense, but you got to pitch better. Mm-hmm. And you got to avoid all those free passes. Avoid putting pressure on yourself by putting those extra base runners on base. Avoid the length of every at bat when you're going full count on a bunch of different guys.
Right.
And so I think the point was, he's not some special coach who's got this magic,
potion. Right?
Potion.
Yeah.
It's practice hard and get better.
Yeah. Here is Coach Tadlock on what he liked from what the team did last weekend, aside from losing 2 out of 3.
22 walks, 5 hit by pitches. Had a number of guys play really good defense. Had some young guys put together some really good at-bats, jump in there. I mean, obviously the possibility and just looking at the future going, hey, we are going to really put pressure on people. We're going to really defend. And obviously you want to get back to playing baseball. I mean, you want to go strike one and get outs where they are, when you have the opportunity to get outs. And, I mean, I'm not worried about talk. We're more trying to be intentional about our day-to-day and trying to do what we need to do to get ready to play on Friday. I'll let y'all deal with the talking.
Was he looking at you when he said that?
I was not there.
Oh, you were not there. Okay, because you were here talking.
I was doing my job.
Yeah, you were talking.
Yeah.
But he's going to let you do the talking, though, Jamie.
I'll let you do the talking.
Which is good, because you're doing play-by-play this weekend.
Do you guys get the sense that, I don't know, did you get a sense when listening to these comments from Coach Tadlock that he's a little chippy?
Yeah, a little irritated, kind of.
I mean, I think, understandably, he's not. I don't think the questions are unfair or anything like that at all. I think that he's, I think you can see or hear in his voice he's frustrated about the way his team's played.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's angry with the people asking the questions.
No.
I think he's not happy with the way his team has played up to this point.
Yeah.
So I don't think that means that he's down on them or he's, just in talking to him on the coach's show on Monday night and during the commercial breaks in talking, I mean, it sounds like a guy that, has high expectations for his team and expects his team to do the little things and play the game, at a certain level. And they haven't accomplished that so far.
Yeah.
And so when I listened back to the whole press conference yesterday, I'm like, yeah, coach is frustrated. Yeah. You can hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Okay. My question for you guys today involves Red Raider men's basketball that Chuck just touched on there. Okay. And I want you to tell me if you had a do-over with any game this season, which one would you want the do-over on?
Man. Do we get to put players back in the lineup? Or is it just you would have the people available that you had available for that particular game? Because I'd love to have Monday night over with, and even without Williams and McMillan, because you still had a chance to win that game with under a minute to play if you come up with a loose ball and you prevent the three as the shot clock was winding down. So I'm going to say I'd love to have Monday night over again and win in that atmosphere so that you just kind of cap everything off from everything that took place on Monday night so that you could have the perfect ending.
Okay.
I'm torn. One of them is the better win if you got it. One of them means more. And I know what that sounds like is that I'm being crazy. I don't know if I want the Iowa State win or a chance of an Iowa State win or a chance to take out TCU in Fort Worth. It's those two. And from a seeding standpoint, beating Iowa State, getting a chance to beat them to make up for the overtime loss would be better. I'm just looking at this TCU game, just foaming at the bit, though. Just losing by 3 on the road on a team you should have beaten.
TCU.
Yeah, give me TCU.
All right, so I think I like both of your answers. I totally understand why you would go that route. If you're picking the TCU thing, it's just it's one of your worst losses of the season, right? UCF's probably worse at home losing that one. But It's one of them. So that and the rivalry factor with how much you hate losing to TCU, I totally get that. The Houston thing is they're the best team in the conference, and it'd be really cool to say you beat them twice.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I think the game that would mean more would be the Arizona game on the road, because right now Arizona is in front of you in the standings. So if you flip that and put yourself into a win there, you're at 13-4. You drop them back to 12-5. Now suddenly you are alone in second place instead of alone behind Arizona in third place. And so I feel like that one would mean more because it comes with a Tech win and an Arizona loss.
Okay. Which
improves you to the 2 seed and not the 3 seed in the Big 12 conference.
Okay. Which game would help you when it comes to seeding for the NCAA tournament the most, do you think?
I mean, they're both quad 1 games, right? Arizona on the road, Houston at home. They're both quad 1 games.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal either.
You don't? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think you make a good point about the Arizona game. The Houston game, and the thing about the Arizona game too is you're still in the hunt for the Big 12 title at that point in time. Maybe that puts a little more pressure on Houston.
Okay, maybe.
Because and then that might make that game against Houston. I mean, it was meaningful. Don't get me wrong; it was meaningful for lots of different reasons. But it might have had some Big 12 implications in it as well, in that you would have extended the time that it would have taken Houston to clinch a Big 12 title.
Does that mean that you would have, if it had Big 12 implications, that maybe one of your players would have been more likely to want to play?
Yeah, maybe so. I can't understand.
Is that fair to say?
And that's...
You mentioned the press conference with Coach McCaslin coming up later today and the questions he'll be asked. And this is not a question you would ask in this setting, or he wouldn't want to talk about it. I totally understand. But I would love to know if he's felt like he's seen a change, if it's affected anything, like the message got sent. Mm-hmm. Like I would love to know if he felt like, accomplished what I was looking for there. Like the message was been received. Because some people, you could make a veiled comment like that and they're just clueless.
Yeah.
Or they just refuse. Oh, you're not talking about me, you're talking about somebody else, But I wonder if he felt like he got out of that comment what he wanted to get out of that comment.
Yeah. From my line, I have one of my friends says the Texas A&M game.
It's the Aggies.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't pick that one just because it's not a conference game, and so these other ones mean more.
Yeah.
But if you worked with an Aggie or something that wore you out.
Totally. 100% understand if that's where you're going. Sure.
Totally.
The reason I'm looking at those two games specifically, the Iowa State and TCU, you clearly had a chance those nights to win those games. Sure. And I think with the Iowa State, if you knew how tight it was going to be, you get just a little bit more effort. And not that effort was lacking, but the diving for one more ball, that kind of thing to try, because it only take one shot at that point to make that,
or one more made free throw.
Yeah.
And then on the TCU game, it's a 3-point loss on the road to a team that you're just better than, and that's UCF. I think you needed that loss because it woke some guys up, and you played much better basketball afterwards, which is why I don't want to do over there. Because you got better afterwards. The TCU loss stings.
Well, and this from my line, the win over A&M would have been a SEC state rival, and would also be helpful for seeding them because A&M had a really good year.
Yep, absolutely. That's fair. Yeah, and it's a neutral site. And not as good as the road, but neutral site. Yeah, absolutely. That's totally fair.
Yeah.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
This morning here on the Morning Drive with Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. come to you this morning from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that. The Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. South Lake Daryl, I'm assuming Daryl lives in South Lake, says this on the Yates Flooring Center chat line with regard to Gene Hackman. After the news this morning that was released overnight that Hackman and his wife passed away, and his dog in their home in Santa Fe. His favorite Hackman movies are Hoosiers, yes. Crimson Tide, great movie. It's a submarine movie. Okay. And Denzel Washington is in it as well. And then the Poseidon Adventure. I'd forgotten about the Poseidon Adventure. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So somebody else says Enemy of the State was pretty good. I have not seen that movie. But I'm not the biggest movie guy in the world. So part of it's the attention span problem. You know, part of it's like if I'm really, really interested. Like, there's a movie out with regard to the coverage of the 72 Olympics, with, you know, the kind of the behind the scenes look of the terrorists that, you know, took the Israelis hostage and then they all ended up dead. And my brother's seen it. I think this movie is out now on Netflix, but I don't know if it's in Lubbock or not, but I think it's called September 4th or September, something like that. But apparently it's supposed to be a pretty good movie. So my brother said it was pretty good. So going back to this real quick on this sports gambling thing, Sports Illustrated's Michael Rosenberg and Pat Forty, they've done the work on this. They called it one of the most pervasive point shaving scandals in North American history. This guy named Shane Hennon was arrested last month in Vegas. At the airport, he was attempting to flee the country and was reportedly detained while in possession of multiple cell phones and nearly $10,000 in cash. His orchestration of a giant gambling ring tied to professional and college basketball is set to set the sports world on fire, according to them. One of the games that this goes back to is March the 4th, 2023. He wagered $155,700 on two first-half college spreads. $85,700 on Tennessee's first-half spread against Auburn, and $70,000 on Iowa State's first-half spread against Baylor. Baylor was ranked 7th at the time, entered the game as a 7.5-point spread favorite, but found itself down by 15 at the half. Likewise, Auburn was a 2.5 favorite, but trailed by 4 at the half. The question is, did someone tip him off about those games? Did their extenuating circumstances play a factor? So that's something to kind of keep your eye on, okay? Mm-hmm. And let's not be naive. I'm sure it's going on. You just hope it's not going on with your team. And you hope that nobody's shaving points to try to win a game or win a bet.
Yep, absolutely.
And it seems like, and look, I'm not a gambler, so I don't know. It certainly wasn't a Division I athlete, but it seems like basketball is the one that's probably the most susceptible to something like that.
Feels pretty easy that you could see a game turn really quickly and also like it not be obvious if a player is just, I mean, he's missing shots or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Just, hey, he's had a bad night.
Yeah, because those happen when you are fully trying.
Yeah, so it just feels like the basketball's the one on that. All right, you can go to doubletsportsnetwork.com and see this article. It's written by Jacob Beatles with regard to Red Raiders at the NFL Combine, which is going on right now. There's 329 players who were invited to the Combine this week. And it's interesting because you see a lot of the top players, Cam Scadaboo and Shadur Sanders, and while they may go and get measured, they're not necessarily going to perform per se.
Okay.
But then I think other players, and they were talking about this on Dan Patrick a little bit yesterday, for other players, maybe the middle round guys, it's an opportunity for them to move up or to showcase themselves not necessarily the top stars.
Sure.
So here's who's taking the field at the combine. Taj Brooks, he'll be with the rest of the running backs on Saturday, so he could grow his draft stock, or maybe even more importantly, his free agency opportunity. I guess at this point he's expected to be picked on the third day of the draft.
Yeah, I think I keep seeing 6th or 7th round.
So in his case, would you rather see him be a free agent where he could pick a spot that might be best suited for him, or get drafted? What do you think is best for him?
I think I'd rather see him get drafted, because I feel a team is more likely to stick with him if they've invested a draft pick in him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caleb Rogers, who's an offensive lineman, his duties are on Sunday, March the 2nd. He would seem to me to be a guy that would probably be somebody that's going to have to earn it through free agency.
Possibly.
And then Josh Kelly is going to be on the field on Saturday. He's, I think, expected to be undrafted as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen some 6th and 7th round for Josh, so I expected higher from him, to be honest with you. I'm a little surprised he's rated that low. Okay,
and then the last one is Jalen Conyers. He'll be on the field tomorrow with the tight ends. He's currently, according to Jacob's article on DoubleTSportsNetwork.com, the 14th ranked tight end and the 187th prospect overall.
Okay.
So 14 seems like a high number to me, Jamie.
I mean, you're just talking about tight ends.
Right.
It's not like every team has 4 great ones.
Right. But I mean, if you're like the number 14 guy, it would seem to me that like you're going to get a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that this might be an opportunity for him to kind of improve his lie, so to speak.
Sure.
So he'll be on the field.
I think that is for anybody who goes there and competes. I mean, if it was an opportunity for them to fail, they probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to no risk it, no biscuit, Jamie.
No risk it, no biscuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just think about that when you're in Vegas,
Well, I'm not getting any biscuits then.
Will you risk it at all?
No.
The phrase that goes through Jamie's mind is, you can't lose anything you don't put onto the table.
Mm-hmm.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at DoubleT973.com.